Hi, I'm Shira.
And I'm Shayna. We're behavior analysts that create weekly content about how to teach children with autism so that they make real progress. And we create shareable resources to make your job just a little easier. Today's topic is all about functional assessment. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on any new video releases.
So if you're anything like me, your schedule is pretty crazy. And then it comes to our 3-year recertification for CEUs, and we kind of get a little bit frazzled because we may not have kept up with the CEUs that we should have kept up with, or we see a CEU that we really want to take, but we kind of forget, and then the time has passed. So we really wanted to make the CEU process easier for you. So in addition to offering all the CEUs that you need for recertification, we present our live CEUs once a month, and we've made it even easier for you to join and remember when they happen. We've created a new webpage on our website, which is howtoaba.com/events. And at the top of our site, you'll see all of our upcoming events, and you can get all the information on the time and the topic and anything else that you need to know. And if it interests you, you can really easily click and add it to your calendar so that you won't forget to attend. And we're super excited that we've had some really, really great guest presenters on our webinars for CEUs. And they're so valuable because they bring so much valuable resources and information that we even find that we learn from. So we enjoy having them because we love learning from them. And we find that their participation in our CEUs makes it that much more valuable. And we want to make it easier for you guys to know when they're happening. So check out our new page on our website to learn all about our CEU events. Here is the webpage where you can get events for the upcoming months. We try to provide them as much in advance as we can. And when you click on it, you'll get information about the date, the time, and how to sign up and really easily add it to your calendar.
So speaking of CEU events, our next one is with Matt Cicoria. It's all about what you need to know as a BCBA completing a functional assessment in a school. It's going to be on Thursday, April 20th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Matt's a behavior analyst. He's also an educational consultant in private practice. He provides services to schools and community settings in New Hampshire and Vermont. Many of you probably know him, though, from Behavioral Observations podcast. In fact, we did a Behavioral Observations podcast with him about, a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, on everything you need to know as a new BCBA. And we're super excited now to have him back and doing a webinar for us because he is such an easy person to talk to. And he is just really wonderful at just getting his point across and disseminating that information. He also, I don't know if anybody realized this, but from the Behavioral Observations podcast, it actually started as his dissemination project. And he created it in February 2016. So it's been going on a long time now. If you haven't checked out the Behavioral Observations podcast, do so. It's really great. It publishes long-form interviews with leading behavior analysts like Shira and Shayna. I'm just kidding. Where current topics and in the field of ABA are discussed in a very casual format. Matt, and along with Dr. Lisa Britton, is also the author of Remote Fieldwork Supervision for BCBA trainees as well.
And I think the best part of the podcast is that it's really easy to listen to. I am notorious for 2 times speeding all podcasts, and I'm still able to follow. The conversation is really casual. It doesn't get too technical, but at the same time, it's educational and it's helpful and it's informative. So I really enjoy those podcasts and his interview style. So definitely check them out. And we're super excited to have him on so that he could share his, wealth of information about his day job, because like us, we also have day jobs, and his is as an educational consultant. And we talked about what topic to present on. And we know that we get a lot of questions and information about the functional assessment piece and how can we do that, especially in a school setting. You kind of go into a classroom and you don't know much about where you're going. If you're consulting, even less. If you know the classroom and you've been there before, then you might have some more information. But there is so much to it. And I think where we wanted to start with Matt was, how do you even get to that point of coming into the classroom and feeling prepared? And there's so much that can be done in advance before you go into that classroom, or before you're working with the kid, before you start a functional assessment or functional analysis, that will help you feel better prepared and really have a better process. And that's really part of it. We don't want anyone to go into this type of process feeling unprepared.
When, as behavior analysts, when we go into a classroom, one of two things either happen. The teacher can either get very defensive and say, this is my classroom, why are you in it? And I don't want your suggestions because I've been doing this for 20 years, and go away, which isn't always the case, and hopefully isn't the case for very much time. Or the teacher attacks you and says, you are the behavior analyst. I need you. Please just wave your magic wand and get this done. Please, please, please. And I really wish we did have a behavior wand in our back pocket, but it's not so much there. So we really do need to be prepared to go into a school. And, in a school setting, even though, FAs are the gold standard in ABA, how do you do a real formal functional assessment in a classroom setting? Sarah Bloom talks about it, but we need something to jump out of a journal article and into our hands, something really practical. So I'm really excited because Matt will be talking all about this. But like Shira said, not only how to do a functional assessment in a classroom situation, but also how to, what you need to set up before that. So what happens even before, the FA starts?
And I think part of what we're going to talk about is sometimes if you do the right preparations, the FA might not even be necessary. So before you go in and say, I'm definitely doing a functional analysis here, maybe collect some data, maybe speak to the stakeholders, speak to the parents, speak to the teachers. Sometimes you can get enough information so that either you can intervene provide some antecedent strategies, or you could do a functional assessment, which is a little bit less intrusive than a functional analysis. And these are all options that you should exhaust really before going in and saying, functional analysis or bust. And there's also different approaches to a functional analysis. If that is the decision that you've come to, there's different ways to do it. There's the classic 4 functions way that was developed by Brian Iwata, which is, there are 4 functions. They're all very separate, and we're looking at one of those 4 functions. And then there's also Gregory Hanley's practical functional assessment, which is all about synthesize functions and doing it in a way that we're not looking for that one function. We're just looking at whether we can turn the behavior off and on, whatever it takes to do that. So there's so many options, and all of these things you really need to look into before even arriving at the school and in the classroom.
Conducting a functional analysis in schools can be a challenge. So, we want to make sure that we're prepared ahead of time. So we can't wait to have Matt join us to discuss this topic way more in depth.
Yes. And if you want to check out more content on ABA in the classrooms, check out episode 67, where we talked about how to use ABA in the classroom. And you'll be well prepared to listen to Matt on our next CEU webinar.
So our next CEU with Matt Cicoria is on Thursday, April 20th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can join us live, which would be absolutely amazing, or you can join us asynchronous after the fact. So in summary, we showed you our new events calendar and discussed the topic of our next CEU with Matt Cicoria, all about what you need to know as a BCBA conducting a functional assessment in schools. We also talked a little bit about functional assessments in general.
So click the link on or around this video to join our BX Pro Resource membership, so you can attend the live CEU event on Thursday, April 20th at 12 p.m., or to be able to watch the recording afterwards.
For more information on functional assessments, click the link in and around this video or in the description to become a pro member. We also encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos, and leave a like and comment below if you have further questions.